Good morning and welcome to Thursday's Early Morning Intuitive Guidance. I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum, here with some words of wisdom for your day. And we have a deck we haven't seen in a little bit, and I love this card. I actually had it sitting on my desk for quite some time. As a reminder, recently I cleaned my desk and put all the cards back where they go in the various decks, and now this one is showing up again. And it fits right in with a lot of what we've been talking about, so I think you'll find it helpful for today. But as we wait for people to pop on, let's do a little breathing. In through the nose. Good morning, Beth. You're first today. Out through the mouth. Welcome, welcome. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. Good morning, Barb. Hello. Are any of you getting snow? We got about an inch, I think. In through the nose. Good morning, Carolyn. Out through the mouth. Getting a little bit deeper with each one. In through the nose. And longer exhale. Make it more of a sigh on the exhale. In through the nose. Exhale. And one more. Some of you might be getting lightheaded if you don't breathe deeply, typically. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Feeling yourself settle into right here, right now. No snow yet. Okay. All right. Well, it was about to stop down by my sister, and I think ours is supposed to go for another hour or so. But it appears to be moving your direction, so... It wasn't much. It was kind of blizzardy, but it didn't seem like it put down very much. We'll see. Good morning, Nancy. Welcome, 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 welcome. All the practical rebels rolling in here. This is good. So, this card. Yesterday, this card was the antithesis of what I was experiencing. My brain was just chattering. I'd had a meeting. There was a lot of things to consider. And my brain just was not wanting to stop. So I ended up actually doing extra stuff. Good morning, Mel. Glad you are here. I ended up doing some breath work. I ended up doing some tapping. I ended up listening to more of my hemisync things. You have plenty. We were getting down there. Not that you could see grass, but we were getting down there. So apparently Spirit thought we needed a little more peace and quiet because, again, we've talked about that. Snow attenuates sound. So that fits perfectly with today's card, which is silence. Silence, silence. You know, now in the reflection in the camera, I'm noticing her wings. When I was just looking at her, I did not notice her wings. So this card comes from the Grace Cards deck by Cheryl Richardson. I still wish I could figure out if they've hidden the flip screen somewhere, but maybe I'll have to Google that, see if I can find it. Anywho, the word is silence. And notice what she's holding in her hand. She has like an orb. My framing would be crystal ball, but silence. And she's certainly got the aura around the top of her head, crown chakra. So let's see what it says. Take a breath. Exhaling and opening to receiving. Be still. A daily practice of silence bears gifts, a heightened sensitivity to beauty, deep inner peace, and a profound feeling of connectedness to all living things. Good morning, Maureen. Welcome, welcome. Glad you are here. And some of your names are rolling multiple times again. So I always take that to mean that there's something extra for you in this card. Be still, a daily practice of silence. So when you think about that, what comes to mind? Lately, I've been practicing that because we had a previous card, maybe a week and a half ago, that was about stillness and going within and merely listening with your intuitive ears, etc. So I've added a practice of kind of staring out the window blankly for a period of time to see what comes up. And there have been some nuggets that have surfaced from the silence. I think even just saying that, you can see our penchant for productivity. Something has to come out of sitting there in silence. No. It could be just sitting there with the sound of crickets. Nothing's happening. Nothing seems to be happening. But oftentimes, when on the surface, it's dull, boring, mundane, nothing's happening, quote unquote, beneath the surface, earthquakes are occurring. And I've loved the part of the book I just finished where they were talking about the butterfly effect and how a butterfly flapping its wings in Brazil could set off a hurricane in Texas. The concept is what you want to grab there, not the fantastical description, but the concept that little things happening in one area or in one space make all the difference down the road. And there's so many stories that are like that. There was the one that went around Facebook a while ago of Jewish women being led to the ovens in Germany, and one of them asked the guard, "What happens if I step out of line?" And he said, "Well, I won't shoot you, but somebody will." And she took the risk and stepped out of line. And it was I think it was her granddaughter telling the story as an adult who was getting an award. She was an actress, I believe. But that one small act of defiance saved her life and the lives of the children she wouldn't have had otherwise, the grandchildren that wouldn't have been born otherwise, etc. Yes, we desperately need this silence. It's a cacophony of noise. Even in your home, like right now, there's no radio on, there's no TV on, there's me talking. But when I pay attention, I hear the heat running, I hear the humidifier running, I hear street sounds. There's still noise. And to truly have quiet, we have to work pretty hard to make that happen anymore. But it is really so good. I think that's why a lot of people struggle with tinnitus. Our ears are so used to hearing noise that there's noise constantly produced within. So we want to quiet that noise. Let's take a breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Set the intention that as we breathe, sound begins to attenuate. Imagine a snowy day. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Yes, the snow even makes noise if you're out walking around in it. But if you just stand still some point during your walk, that sound is attenuated. Yeah, keep breathing. Be still. And I will guarantee you, there are those who watch the video who that's the point where they'll click off. Or they start scrolling their phone or something. They simply can't tolerate, or they believe they can't tolerate, silence and stillness. And again, from much of what I've been reading lately, whether it's emails that I get, whether it's books I'm reading, whatever, the number of people who are saying how important it is to attend to the silence, it just seems like that's a huge lament right now. A guidance. Be in the silence. Yes, taking the time to enjoy that silence. Yes. And standing by a body of water is a magical thing anyway. The energy around bodies of water is so healing for human beings and for animals. Moving bodies of water in particular. And I mean, there's those that are big enough that they actually have wave action. But that was one of the gifts of being in Rapid River. 2 Great Lakes within an hour of each other. And it was amazing because you'd come up to an aspect of one or the other of those gigantic lakes. It was Michigan and Superior. And you could feel the energetic difference in the air. Spend time with bodies of water. I have a friend, Flo, who does a water ceremony in roughly this time of year. And she would shovel off a space on her pond. I don't think she's doing it this year because she's getting a little wobbly to be walking through the snow and out onto her pond. But I think she said she might be doing it in a, I'm trying to think of the word, brain's blocked, a native healing center. Anyway, yes, there's tons of this energy available to us, and often at trees too. If you stand in a stand of trees, you can feel the energy there as well. Walking through the forest in the winter is amazing. That was one of the gifts of having a dog at that point in my life, was it got me out there walking through because the forest looks so different covered in white. There were times I got disoriented because it does not look the same. So be still. Be still. Practice. A daily practice of silence bears gifts. A heightened sensitivity to beauty, deep inner peace, and a profound feeling of connectedness to all living things. So when today will you do some silence bathing? When will you do that? If you want to put it in the feed, that would be awesome. I will support that. And if you want to just make a commitment to yourself that you will do that, even for 2 or 3 minutes, please do. Please do, please do. It makes a huge difference. Have an awesome Thursday. I am going to the Performing Arts Center tonight with my friend Kathy to see Hamilton. So I'm looking forward to that. And we have a lovely dinner scheduled beforehand. It always seems to snow on the day that we have an event there. So we're par for the course. We'll see you again tomorrow. Remember, you're capable of far more than you think you are. Bye-bye.